Hi, everyone. How are you? If you're new here, my name's Amanda. I'm a coach and a channel, and this is Messages from Spirit. Once a week, I come live on Wednesdays to channel a message from Spirit and then take the time to answer your questions live. So this is an opportunity for you to jump in the chat and receive wisdom, guidance, and support from Spirit as well as myself. If you're looking for my own wisdom as a coach and my own life experience as both a coach and a channel and a human being, and whatever guidance Spirit wants to share with you, all of that is available for you here and now to support you. And if you're finding this video, if you're finding this channel and you're feeling like a small little nudge or a calling to check it out and to tune in, I want you to trust that, because I always set the intention for this video and this message to find you. One, if it's meant to, and two, if you've been calling it in, if there's something that you've been looking for, something that you've been searching for, an answer, a sign, clarity, perspective, some sort of wisdom to aid you and assist you on your path, then this is for you. And there's something in here for you. So I encourage you to check it out. And I also encourage you to subscribe and to join us in a live in the future so that you can receive real-time support or just show up and be surrounded by a community of wonderfully beautiful, like-minded individuals. Hi, Stacy. It's always such a pleasure to see you pop into the chat whenever I'm here. I'm so happy that you're joining me for today. So, I'm going to tune into Spirit and see if there's anything that they want to share with us. And Stacy, you're welcome to just tune in today, or if there's something on your mind that you would like support with, just feel free to let me know. You know the drill by now. Okay, so let's just see what Spirit has in store for us today. So, oftentimes when I'm channeling, the way that the messages come through for me starts with an image, and the image is sort of like a metaphor for what it is that they're looking to describe or explain. So they start by showing me an image of something, and it tends to unfold and unravel and kind of deepen into some sort of message that they want to share. I just want to make sure they're showing me a few different things. What would you like me to focus on? So they're showing me a few different images, but the one that's coming through the strongest is this image of someone that's paragliding. I think that's the name of it, when you're kind of strapped into like this. It's kind of like a cross between like a parachute and an airplane, and you're gliding through the air. So it's strapped onto your back, kind of like a large kite, and you run and you jump off a cliff and you just glide through the air, and then very slowly you make your way down to the ground. And it's this feeling of a rush when you're running towards the edge of a cliff and you just leap off, and there's this rush of adrenaline and this rush of air blowing through your hair and blowing back through your face and your arms, and you just feel this incredible weightlessness and also this like trust and surrender of the experience, where you you have some control, especially if you know what you're doing and you're there with a guide. But we are not built to be airborne. We're built to be grounded physically on the floor. And so there's this element of like letting go and allowing the experience to take hold and trusting that you're going to be okay and that everything is going to work out. And it is the leap. It is the jump into the unknown of that experience that is what creates the excitement, because you're doing something that there's just like a very, very small ounce of risk involved with. And it's that very small ounce of risk that is creating the element of excitement, because it's offering this small quantity of unknown or of like a dichotomy inside of the experience That is saying that something could go wrong and something could go perfectly well, and you're hoping that everything is going to be okay, but you don't know 100%. You're just trusting. You're being forced to trust. And that is sort of what they want to guide you into really being honest about inside of this message, which is that we move through life and we are taught to fear the unknown. We're taught to move in a direction where there's a lot of predictability and there's a lot of certainty and there's a lot of guarantee. But is that really what you want? Is that really something that's offering to you the experience that you're looking for? And if that's the case, then why do we seek out ways to experience excitement? If your life is not offering that to you as you've built it, as you've created it, then you're going to go looking for a way to access it. And so there is a part of you that doesn't want the predictability and the certainty that you have been brought up to believe you do, or that you oftentimes go searching for or looking for or trying to create. And they just want you to begin to observe how and where and why that might be true for you. And it might be showing up differently or more evidently for some of you than others. But if you take a good, close, honest look, there is a small sliver of truth here where a life without risk doesn't satisfy our craving for it. There's no adrenaline rush. There's no excitement, which borderlines fear if you really think about it. What is excitement? Excitement is an uptick in your sympathetic nervous system, where everything, your fight or flight comes online. But what is that fight or flight response? It's a fear response. And there is this small edge of shifting from excitement into fear and back again. It's sort of like right there on the border of both. When you go swing too far one way or too far the other, it's too much for the nervous system. But when you can find that sweet spot where you can feel safe, but also has this small sliver of fear there, that's what we crave. That's why we love roller coasters, right? We feel safe enough to trust in the experience, but there's this small element of, yeah, but that creates the excitement of the experience where you're weightless and you're being tossed around and you're moving really, really fast. And there's a little bit of fear there. And that's what's so exciting about it. But because you trust the experience and you feel safe enough to allow yourself to enjoy it, you can. And so, what they're offering for you today is, just want to make sure I'm getting this right. What do you want to offer today? A way of expressing your desire for that experience and allowing it to unfold in a myriad of different ways. What do you mean by that? Really taking a good hard look at how you've set up your world. Where are the access points to the excitement that you're looking for? And are you creating the circumstances needed in order to fulfill that, so that you're not feeling bored, you're not feeling tired, you're not feeling lethargic, you're not feeling like that element of excitement is lacking for you, because it's wanted and it's needed, and it's something that you can offer to yourself if you can begin to see the avenues where it's available. Okay, where else do you want to go with that? The twinge of discomfort that comes up inside of specific choices in your life, where you're kind of at a crossroads and you're like, well, I can go route A and I can go route B. Sometimes it is those crossroads that we don't particularly enjoy coming face to face with because we don't like having to make big decisions. We want our life and our path to unfold in a way where everything is laid out perfectly and we can see the path ahead and we know where we're moving. And so we tend to ask spirit for that. But when we do that without realizing it, we are robbing ourselves of the very thing that we go out looking for, which is excitement. There's something exciting about coming to a crossroads and saying, I can go A or I could go route B, and being faced with that cliff moment, right? Where you're just about to jump off of the cliff and you're making a decision in that moment. You're saying, I'm going to jump. And route A is you jump and route B is you don't. And so that is like a crossroads of sorts when you think about it. And every time you move through life and you're met with a series of choices, that is your crossroads moment. And that is where your excitement can be experienced. I have all of these options in front of me. And there's something massively uncomfortable about that. But if you take a second to step back and really look at the big picture or look at it from a different vantage point, they're saying, then you can feel the excitement available inside of that experience that you are actually asking spirit to rob you of or to do away with, when that's in actuality not what you want. You want freedom. You just want to feel certainty too. And so, what they want to reflect back to you is that the certainty is not going to come from never being met with a crossroads. The certainty is going to be fostered inside of your ability to trust your judgment. It's not the path that's going to offer you the certainty. It's your own wisdom, your own personal sense of power, your own skills and abilities, your own judgment that will. And if you take a look at your life, you might find that you have made choices that you were led to believe would guarantee certainty. And then it turns out that they didn't, or it didn't go as planned. And so, can you really depend on the path to give that to you? Or is that something that's insourced? Is that your work and your job to foster that from within you so that you can come to these crossroads moments and really enjoy them and really sink your teeth into the brevity and the expansiveness that they offer for you. And that is the gift that they want to reflect back to you today, is how many crossroad moments are available to you in a lifetime that you are trying to do away with, when in actuality, it's offering you the excitement that you go looking for elsewhere and the certainty that you're trying to find inside of just show me the path, just show me the way, just show me like the one direction. And I wish things were certain. I wish things were predictable. That is not going to come from the thing that you're expecting it to. It's going to come from you, your ability to trust in you, your ability to pick up the pieces, your ability to pivot, and your ability to withstand the hardships that any which path can offer you. It's not pathway dependent. It's simply faith dependent. It it the challenges that come up in life are challenges that are born from a need to instill inner strength, power, and wisdom. That sense of self, the ability to trust in you, to have faith in you, doesn't come from certainty. It's born through effort. And it's not something that spirit can give you. It's not something that a certain pathway can give you. It's something that you give you inside of the strength that you find from the challenges that you face. Really, really Really great message. Okay, what else would you like to say about this? The need to foster strength of character is also something that you are searching for. The desire to feel empowered, the desire to feel confident, the desire to feel a sense of like inner strength and fortitude. They're saying many of you are wanting that and searching for that because you're feeling like that might be missing, and you're feeling like that's something that would feel good to be able to have inside of you, or to feel there um, more easily. And if that's the case, if that's something that you're wanting, that is something that has to come from the willingness to learn, the willingness to grow, and the willingness to face the path that you've chosen, regardless of what it brings up, and allow yourself to meet the obstacles required to enforce it. And how could they take that away from you? How could they possibly swoop in and save you from the very thing that you're searching for? Like, if personal empowerment and strength and resiliency and confidence is something that you want, how could they possibly swoop in to try to protect you from that by removing every obstacle from your path? Isn't that in contradiction to the very thing that you're wanting? And isn't the very thing that you're wanting born through the challenges that you're trying desperately to avoid? And so they really want you to take a good hard look at what you're actually asking for, and whether or not that's something that you're really even wanting at the most fundamental level, and beginning to like come to terms with the potential contradiction that's there, because they're wanting to support you from an empowered place, and and they and they cannot take away from the experiences that are necessary in order to facilitate that transformation. And so the transformation that you're looking for, the resiliency that you're wanting, the inner strength and perseverance and fortitude and ability to trust your intuition and feel your deepest sense of knowing, comes from walking right up to the edge of the cliff and asking yourself, am I willing to leap? Am I willing to jump, trusting my own skill set and my own capabilities to support a safe landing, and an experience that will allow myself to build those skills that I'm searching for? But it can only come from the willingness to make that jump. And if you're not ready to, that's okay too. Again, it's really important inside of these messages to recognize that there's no one right way and one wrong way. There's just reflection of truth. That's all it is. There's never judgment. There's never this desire to push you in one direction or another. Again, the crossroads is up to you to choose what is the right way and what is the way that you would prefer to go. And they are simply here to reflect back to you what you're actually feeling, and how they're here to support you inside of that intention. Okay, anything else you want to add to this for today? They're saying feel the confidence that comes from witnessing yourself inside of your own destiny. What do you mean by that? The destiny that you are choosing to experience. Can you expand on that? the destiny of your fate, the destiny of the direction that you are headed, which ultimately comes from how you're choosing to experience it and perceive what it is in the first place. Like you create the destiny. Um, can you explain what you mean by destiny? The desired intention for the direction that you're choosing is the destiny that is unfolding for you. And there is not one predestined endpoint. Again, how could they take away from the crossroads where you get to fortify your own sense of self? If there was a predestined direction that you were supposed to go, then how would you then what? Then what would the purpose be of living a life that offers you all these choices when the choices were an illusion in the first place? Like you come here to create your own destiny. And the choices that you make are sort of like building the picture of what that is. And the destiny ultimately is who you become. It's not the choice you make, it's how you move and navigate through it. And that comes down to, again, the choice that you're making in terms of how you're desiring to show up, what lessons you're looking to learn from it, and how you perceive your own capacity to be inside of it. And the beautiful part of this is what they're saying, what you make of it, what you choose to perceive inside of it. And they're just here to remind you of that, of the purpose inside of this experience, which is you. The purpose is you, experiencing you in all the ways that you choose to. And you're basically building the what building the what? The capacity to experience the sense of self that you're looking to embody. You're building the version of you that you're looking to be. And so if you look back through all of your choices, that's an indication of what you were looking to be and to feel and to embody and to know. Like the choices that you made are a reflection of what that is. And if you look back over those choices and you tell yourself, well, I'm looking to make changes now. I want to experience a different side of me. I want to build a new foundation. I want to express myself in a new way. Then what's required are different choices, picking a different avenue and being coming to a crossroads is an incredible way to witness the different choice that you're making. It's a way for you to visually see in your mind, I would have chosen A, but now I'm choosing B. And you are literally witnessing the change that you're desiring to make in the moment. And if you were never given that crossroads, then you would never have the ability to witness yourself making that choice and change in real time. So there's layer upon layer of the beauty of having options that so many of us aren't even seeing and are unknowingly asking to be robbed of. Okay, any final words you would like to add to this beautiful message? Yeah, they're just saying from this message, you have an opportunity to move forward and to begin to identify how this is showing up for you in your life. All of the ways where you have all of these open ended paths that you might be looking for certainty around or clarity around. And they're saying, uh, 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 take a deep breath, breathe, take a step back and take a moment to allow this message to come to the surface and allow you to witness the incredible beauty and capacity of the experience of that crossroads. And maybe you won't feel the need to search out or seek out certainty or predictability or closure, and rather choose a different path, which would be having a different experience of it, choosing a different path, or coming to terms with the fact that you're not wanting to or ready to. And that, too, in and of itself, is also, in a way, a different choice because you're making it consciously. And that's personal power. Oh, I loved that. That was really, really incredible today. So I'm just going to come to the chat. Hi, guys. Hi, Melissa. Hi from Melinda in New Zealand. I lost my dear friend Travis suddenly on July 19th last year. Does he please have a message for me? Hi, I think I remember you asking about your friend Travis. And I would be happy to offer a different message for you. Um, how do you guys want to approach this today? So I think it's Melissa. Let me know if I'm mispronouncing your name. I don't know if you're still here with us, but I'm going to say this. Um, and this is sort of like a repeat of I think some of the message that came through last time. You're being asked to tune into the energy that lives inside of you in order to connect to him. And so there isn't a message for you today other than taking the time to build that connection within. And it's going to serve you much more deeply than any message that I could relay to you. And where there's discomfort inside of that, where there's doubt, where there's uncertainty, you get to witness the crossroads. You get to stand there and say, I've always chosen A, which is asking for a message from him, from somebody else. And I've never chosen B because I don't feel like I know how. I don't feel confident. I doubt my abilities. I don't know how. I don't know what it's supposed to feel like. What if I can't reach him? And all of the things that come up inside of that. And witnessing the excitement inside of being able to see those options and asking yourself, what is the experience that I want to have? Do I want to build confidence? Do I want to build trust? Or for right now, do I feel more comfortable maintaining a distance from those things and choosing the same path as before and making the choice? And then what? And then feeling confident and empowered inside of the choice that you're making. Anything else you want to add to that? They also want to add to recognize the longing that you might be feeling, the longing to connect to him, to connecting to his energy, and to a part of the experience that he's reflecting back to you with regard to a different experience of life, a different experience to existence itself, and allowing that longing to guide you because it's going to be guiding you towards a path that might feel distant right now, but ultimately it's the path that you might find yourself walking at some point because it's really calling to you. Let me know how that resonates. Hi, Stacy. Absolutely loved this message. Best one yet. Appreciate you sharing with us, Amanda. I think it's the best one yet too. I thought that was an incredible message today too. Like really blown away by that. I never know where it's going to go, but I really, really liked that one. I thought it was very layered, and man, I really do feel like every time my channel the like if you break down the message to brass tacks, they're saying the same thing every single time. Trust in you, believe in you, love yourself unconditionally, foster personal power. like that is the underlying message, but they always explain it or express it using a different analogy or a different um like w- like subtle way of perceiving that message, and it just sometimes hits. And then there's just like layers to it. So I That's just an observation that I've had from the first time I started channeling, and it's really just perspective. Like that's really all it is, and they're just trying to highlight a different perspective of seeing yourself in life, but the message itself is consistent. So, yeah. A doctor once told me this exact thing about anxiety and excitement, but that was just worded so well. I agree. It's so hard it's so hard to think that you're, like, in a moment of fear and you're like, "There's no way I'm excited in this moment." But again, I think that there's, like, a spectrum, and if there's a level of, like, containment to the experience where you can feel trust inside of it, then it borders more excitement with just a twinge of fear. But when you really parse it apart, what makes it exciting is the element of fear. So yeah, there's like sort of an interesting blend of those two experiences, and I think somatically they're the same. Like, the sensations of both of them are the same, but it's our interpretation of them mentally that is what makes them different, and our experience of them becomes different. And I think that that is really interesting to begin to pay attention to. Like, the next time that you're feeling afraid, like trying to observe the sensations from a more objective standpoint, like the physical sensations of them, and trying to separate the story and seeing, oh, maybe I'm not don't feel as threatened as I did before. Yeah, that's exactly what the doctor said. Yeah. I think it's easier said than done, especially in the moment. Like if you're on the roller coaster and then all of a sudden your seatbelt unbuckles, that's a whole different experience. But it's like the seatbelt that offers you that small element of trust that flips the experience from fear to excitement. And think I but like, yeah, it's it's a slippery slope. So I think Melissa left us, which is fine. I hope she's okay. Stacy, it's you and I. Is there anything else that's on your heart today, or do you feel complete with this? I'm happy to I'm happy to stay here with you for as long as you want. But if you feel complete, then I feel complete. So I just thought I'd check in with you and see. And is there anything else that you guys want to say to close out this experience? Yeah, they're just saying excitement is what makes life enjoyable and worth living. And so many of us seek out experiences of that because we often feel the lack of it. And it's important to recognize where we're actually stifling the excitement that's available to us because we don't see it that way. And they're just offering you an opportunity to begin to. Stacy, I told a group of 10-year-olds at a swim carnival to chant, "I'm excited, I'm excited." And it worked. The difference was telling them they already won because they got to have the adventure of the carnival. I love that. You're bringing their attention to the present moment rather than, I guess, whatever outcome it was that they were hoping for or searching for. And man, like I look back over the course of my life, I was so focused on the end result because of what that was going to mean about me that I never enjoyed the experience. I'm thinking back to my time, like I used to dance, I used to compete in dance. I was so hard on myself. And it robbed me of a lot of the pleasure of what dance actually gave me in the first place. And there were only a handful of times where I really allowed myself to experience it fully when I wasn't being so competitive. And I think that o obviously that was just what I needed to go through in order to have that experience, but I love that you're teaching them that from a young age. I wish I had someone to sit me down and, like, offer that option to me, but also I think that sometimes you just have to learn from experience. Like, someone can offer you incredible wisdom, and sometimes you're just not ready to fully receive it. And so, everyone sort of, I think, embodies that when they're ready to. But I love that you did that. I love that you offered that to them. And I wonder if that made a difference for some of them. And it might have in a really big way, and it might be something that sticks with them in a way that they don't realize or that you don't realize, but they'll look back on it and be like, "Actually, that was very impactful to me, and I really appreciated that wisdom in that moment." Good on you, Stacy. I love that. Definitely made a difference. We had an awesome day. Oh, I love that. Was this a carnival? Was this just like a school outing, or was this a swim meet? That you guys are one of your kids a swimmer? What is a swim carnival? Now that I'm just rereading again, district swim carnival. Is that like a competition? Maybe you just have a different word for it. To me, a carnival is like a fair, like a fair that you go to and there's like rides and candy and stuff like that. But it feels like this is more of like a competition environment that you're talking about. Yep, second level of competition from school. Yeah, so I think you just are using a different wording, or maybe I'm just not familiar with swim lingo. But being in competition as a young person, like engaging in competitive sports as a young person, I think is you learn so much discipline and confidence and strength and teamwork. It's so important. Local, district, regional, state. I think it's an Aussie term. Maybe. Yeah. I have to say, I don't know if I told you this, but I was in Australia a couple years ago with my husband. The nicest people. The nicest people are in Australia. We had such a good time. And I have a lot of food intolerances. Long story. I'm not going to get into it, but I just remembered going to every single restaurant in Australia, and there was a vegan option, a gluten-free option, and a vegetarian option. Vegan, gluten-free, vegetarian, and there might have been one more. Every single restaurant. And if I said gluten-free, they would always ask, "Oh, are you celiac?" I'd never seen anything like that before. We don't have that in the United States. We don't have some restaurants have some options, gluten-free, vegetarian, but not every restaurant, and we just don't take it as seriously. Most of the time they ask, "Do you have any allergies?" And I will have to let them know, but it was directly in the menu. I was so impressed. I felt so taken care of. Everybody was just the hospitality there was incredible. Really, we take gluten-free very seriously. Yeah, that's so interesting. In certain areas in the United States, gluten-free is not even a thing. Like, when I lived in Michigan, I lived there for 10 years, that was not a thing there. And a funny story I have, when we were traveling, my husband and I traveled from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States. We did a road trip, and so we were passing through, like, the middle states, and we passed through Wyoming, and we stopped at this, like, restaurant in the middle of nowhere, and there was only one salad option on the menu, which was like the gluten-free option that they had. And so I was like, I guess I'll just order the salad because I can't have a sandwich. I can't have like a wrap of any kind. I can't have pasta. And so I ordered the salad. And when they gave it to me, it was nachos. Their salad was nachos. And I think they called it a salad because they sprinkled some vegetables on top of the nachos, but, like, that was what they believed a salad was. So I guess they just don't eat salad in Wyoming or in that rural area, but I mean, I ate it because I didn't have a choice, but I thought that that was so funny. It's just not a thing there, like, they just if you're not eating, like, meat and potatoes, then what are you doing type of thing. But in Australia, like, there were so many choices and everything was so good. We were there in the winter because I really wanted to see the migration of the humpbacks. So unfortunately, it was kind of cold, especially we went down to, the southern parts of Australia and Tasmania. It was cold there. So I need to come back in the summertime, but it's the most beautiful country and the people are so nice and the nature and like the landscapes and the animals. And we didn't make it to Sydney. We didn't make it to oh, I'm blanking on the name of that other city. We made it to Perth. We made it to Hobart in Tasmania, but we never made it to some of the other like cities. And so I need to come back to do more of a city trip. This was more of like a rural animal and landscape trip. I had all those things on my menu from 24 years ago, but I have lots of intolerances too, probably why I took it seriously. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of gut issues that I'm working through, and, it's hard. It's hard when you don't feel good all of the time, so I feel you on that, and eating out is not as enjoyable for that reason, so I'm not a foodie, I don't get a lot of talking about excitement from the message today, a lot of us, um seek out excitement in our life and our vehicle for that is through food. That is something that came up a lot for me when I was doing personal training and nutrition coaching is that my clients relied on food to access the excitement that they were looking for, and so it was very difficult for them to lose weight because that was their only access point for the excitement that they were looking for, and this was all unconscious, so it was just having a conversation with them about it so that they could see it that way, but for me, it's just not a source of excitement, so I had to go looking for other vehicles for that. Yeah. Anything else, Stacy? Anything else that you want to chat about today that I can offer you today? And if not, if you're feeling complete, then I'm feeling complete too. I want to now that it's on my mind, I just want to ask spirit like if you come back, I'll cook you a meal that will definitely excite you. Thanks, I'm complete. I we're And you don't have to put this in the chat if you don't want to, but, you can email me privately, but I would love to know, like, area of Australia you're in. I'm just curious if you're East Coast, West Coast, Central, just to get an idea. We did a little bit when we were on our trip, we did a little bit of, like, we did, like, the Whitsundays area, and then we went down to Tasmania, and then we went up to Ningaloo Reef in Perth on the West Coast but we in a little bit of the outback, but we kind of didn't do a lot of those central areas. Tiny beach town on South Coast. Okay. So I probably wasn't at all in the area that you were in. But yeah, Australia is on my bucket list to come back to. Hi, Yosef Ball Girl Forever. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Advice for quitting drinking with ease. Thank you so much for asking. Let me tune in and see what they want you to know about that. Just give me a second, okay? Advice for quitting drinking with ease. Okay, so I'm gonna reiterate what they want you to know about this. Thank you so much for asking this question. It's a complicated answer, and they're going to highlight something that I'm not sure you've ever really paid attention to before or thought of in this way before. So I want you to take your time to really reflect on this answer. And I might need a few minutes to really like get into the meat of it because it feels a little bit complicated. Not complicated, but there's nuance to what you're asking. And so there's going to be a lot of nuance to the answer. And so they're just reflecting how um, the part of your question where you're saying with ease is something that they're really focusing on here. They're asking you how are you willing to access and find and allow for ease in your life? And where are you not taking the time to recognize where the ease that you're looking for has been held at bay? Can you expand on that? There has been a need to experience challenge. There has been a desire to instill a sense of, what do you want to say? Desire to instill a sense of testing your limits and towing the line between what can I get away with? What can I attempt to access or feel? And how much can I get away with? And so they want to reflect back to you that ease might not be the priority for you right now. What might need to come to the surface, or that you might need to come to terms with, is the what? What? Sorry, I'm having difficulty understanding the what. The discomfort that comes up inside of being with your own sense of self in a way that you can't escape from or run from. What the path that you're looking to navigate is one that cannot be easeful because you're not allowing for the ease inside of you to be recognized. There's like a little bit of conflict or resistance with your, I think, sense of self. And it's kind of keeping you looping inside of um, like sort of like running from something and trying to find a way around it or a way of avoiding it because it's feeling easier. But this need to look for the easier path might be what's keeping you from keeping you stuck or keeping you inside of this loop. And so they really want to reflect back to you, is ease what you're looking for? Or is what you're looking for a challenge that's going to prevent the same cycle, but that's going to offer you a new way through it? And perhaps what's really needed is facing the challenge required to undo the pattern of avoiding that and creating different kinds of challenges. I hope that makes sense. Let me just see if there's anything else they want to add to that. They're just saying feel the ease that's calling to you inside of a path that's going to offer that to you. But in order to get there, you're going to have to move through discomfort and obstacle and challenge and strife that you've been sort of shying away from. And the easier path is not necessarily going to be the one that you're looking to navigate, but there's going to be ease inside of it eventually. I hope that makes sense. Yes, it made complete sense. Thank you. That was incredibly helpful. You're welcome. I'm glad. That was a little bit challenging for me to I just sense that there's like a lot here, and so it was challenging for me to be really clear on what they were saying, but I'm glad that it resonated for you. And thank you so much for trusting me with that question because it's a vulnerable question. I don't know if you saw the first half of this video, but I think if you go back and watch it, the message at the beginning is really going to resonate for you. I just feel like there's a lot there that you're going to feel is meant for you. So if you feel intrigued by that, I encourage you to do that. Okay. So, since there's just a few of us here, I'm going to give you guys a second to ask any other questions that you might have. If there's anything else that you want to share with me, if there's any other advice or wisdom that you'd like from Spirit, now's your chance to pop that into the chat. And I'm going to see if there's anything else that they want to let us know before I close this down. And other than that, I will see you again next time. So let me just see if there's anything else that they'd like to share with you today. Okay, they're saying something very interesting. They're saying be very careful when you're identifying the path of excitement because sometimes excitement can be mistaken for like the easy way or the path of least resistance. And that's what feels exciting about it. And so it's really important to begin to be very specific in identifying what it is that you're actually wanting. Because it might feel exciting because it's easy, or it might feel exciting because there's more certainty, or it might feel exciting because you've done it before and you know exactly how to do it again. And so the excitement is going to be coming from a specific part of you that's craving um, ease, or that's craving like safety or peace. And that's not bad or wrong. Once again, it's just important to notice. And so it's really up to you to get very clear and specific on what it is that you're looking to experience. What is the experience that you're wanting to have in the now moment and also moving forward? And that might not mean that the path feels light, but there's an excitement there inside of the transformation it's going to offer you, that there's a change inside of it. There's a difference, there's an evolution, and it's that's making it exciting. So the path might feel scary because it's different and it's new and it might not be easy. It might be challenging, but that's what's exciting about it. It's offering you that choice of something different. And so there's not one right way to go about this. There's just your willingness to take a step back and create a lot of clarity and specificity with what it is that you're perceiving and what it is that you're intending. Okay, Melissa. Hi, sorry I had to leave. I'm Melissa from New Zealand. Does Travis have a message for me? So, Melissa, I did answer your question, and I'm encouraging you to go back and watch the recording so that you can see it there because I did leave you a message, and that's no problem. You're always welcome to come and go, but I did answer that question for you. So, feel free to rewind this video and you'll find it there waiting for you. Okay? So I just want to thank all of you for being here with me today. No problem, you're welcome. And for those of you that didn't catch the first part of this video today, I encourage you also, Melissa, to go back and rewatch it because it's going to resonate with you. There's something in this message inside of everything that you guys are asking in the chat, and I think you're going to get a lot out of it. So I encourage you to do that. If you missed it, thank you so much for joining me inside of this Messages from Spirit. This is my, I think, my favorite part of my week. So I'm always so grateful that you're joining me for it live. Feel free to subscribe to this channel if you enjoy this content, and I'm going to be doing this every single week. And I love interacting with you guys in real time. So subscribe, like this video, follow along for more. And I'm always here to support, offer you fresh perspective, and to join you as we're all navigating this path together that is full of cliff moments and crossroads that we're all navigating in our own way. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, evening, afternoon, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Bye, everybody.